Welcome to Combat Sports Talk, a podcast dedicated to UFC and Bellator discussion, the MMA community, and combat sports. In general, I'm your host, Ryan Smith, and joining me this week for the main event of UFC 251 and Fight Island, Usman versus Masvidal, I've got George G-Money Stallworth. What's up, my man? You are still muted, so go ahead and unmute yourself. How you
How
doing?
you doing, man?
I'm
You know
good.
you get us with the mute every time.
I know. And
Same thing for Carlos.
that's right. We've got a special guest. We've got uh, Arjan Carlos Moreno. He was with us for our interview, our very first Combat Sports Talk interview, and now he's joining us live for these fights. Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Happy to be here.
All right, so
Let's go.
we are just getting out of the Max Holloway Alex Volkanovski fight. I think all of us had the consensus that we thought Max Holloway won that fight. I personally had it 4-1. I think that Volkanovski only won the fourth round, but the judges did not agree with us.
Two judges specifically, apparently. I don't know, man. I feel like he got robbed on that one. And we were talking about it earlier. They're in Abu Dhabi. I don't think there's necessarily a commission to warrant any action. So, I mean, he doesn't even have any appeal process if he wanted to in this.
Right. So the audience out there, they really want to know what we think about the Aldo fight. So let's go and talk about that while they get ready for the main event. Did they end the fight too late? Should they have ended the fight earlier? Coach, you were saying that they should have that there's a sign that you can tell when the fighter is no longer intelligently defending himself.
Yeah, when both of his hands are on top of his face and he's face down and he's kind of in a curl position and he's not trying to do anything, that's a good sign where he's needs to help out. He's not going to tap out. He's not going to quit. The referee should have stopped it there. When he told him time and time again to do something, that's a wrap. He needs to save Jose. And I think because he's Jose Aldo, they're letting it go longer than it probably should have went.
So George, talk to us about that. There's a group of people out there who think that because of the fight, because of who Jose Aldo is, and this is a championship fight, that they should allow the champion to fight longer and give the fighter more chance than what they would normally give on maybe a main card fight or a prelim.
You know, back in the days, I was a big proponent of that if you're a champion or whatever, that the referee should give you a little bit more leeway when it comes to your fight, or allow your fight to, progress and play itself out as it naturally will without referee interference. But here in this day and age, man, I'm starting to feel differently about that. The striking level of so many fighters has just gotten so much better. The prowess and the technique that comes into play. And so these guys aren't missing a lot of shots, especially when you've got somebody on the ground. So I don't feel the same way about it as I used to. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It really, the skill level has increased to the point where you can't allow fighters to take too much more damage because these guys are popping you in precise places.
Absolutely. For those of you out there who are watching us, you can type in whatever browser that you're working or that you're watching us on, and you can communicate with us. We've got people who are communicating and saying that Jose Aldo was moving, but rolling to another position doesn't constitute intelligent defense. He was he was knocked down. His nose was broken, or he was bloodied, and he was bleeding profusely, taking a lot of damage. Just because he's changing position doesn't mean that he's still intelligently defending himself. And so I felt like the fight went way too long, and they should have changed it. So we've got the main event coming up. We've got Kamaru Usman, who is the Nigerian Nightmare. KC, if he was here, he would say, Niger, they no carry last. That is your cultural awareness moment. Versus Street Jesus, Game Bread, Jorge Masvidal. All right, so how do you guys break this down, Coach? What do you think? How do you break this down?
Masvidal come from the streets, got a lot of skills. After that, has fought a lot of tough people. He brought in Bo Nickel. and part of his camp, who's an outstanding wrestler, one of the best. And just a chance to work with a guy at that level for takedown defense says a lot. But Usman, man, I mean, he's special. He's a unique guy. He's well-rounded, and he's still young and fresh. You know, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna go one or two ways. We're gonna have an exciting fight, where it's a lot of stand-up, or it's gonna be go the distance, and it's gonna be Usman laying on him for 5 rounds and not really getting a whole lot done on the ground.
All right, George, what do you think?
Man, conventional wisdom says that Usman walks off with this probably very easily, ragdolls him, but my heart says Masvidal, man. And, you know, just looking at him through the years, I feel like this is his time, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he clips him and catches him with a nice punch and Usman goes out.
Well, you know, it always frustrates me because I think that, you know, much like someone like Khabib Nurmagomedov, who can take a fight to the ground and control the fight and do whatever he wants to do with the fight, it seems like that is what Kamaru Usman should be doing. But I feel like he wants to prove that he can stand with someone like Jorge Masvidal, and I think that that's putting him in unnecessary danger. So I feel like he's going to come out, he's going to try to stand and bang with Jorge Masvidal like he did with Colby Covington, and it's unnecessary because I don't believe that Jorge.
Not only that, the skill level in their striking is so different. Don't get me wrong, Kobe's got great output, but Masvidal is a sniper.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Not only is he a sniper, he's also fought a higher level competition, I would say, overall. Masvidal has.
Well,
I think Usman's fought a couple guys, but he hasn't fought, you know, any way they would push him to that next level. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this might be the guy who does it. This might be the one. You know, when he fought Tyrone Woodley wasn't firing any shots.
Yeah.
It was like he wasn't here himself. It was like somebody just slapped Woodley. Go, dude, you know you have fire in those hands, right? Let him go.
Yeah.
But he was like he was afraid to punch, and that's because he got knocked out earlier on in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, he's kind of been a different fighter, you know. And so Masvidal is not that guy. Masvidal's going to come right after him. He is not afraid of this man at all. I promise you.
All right. Hey, we've got some comments coming in from the audience. I got Keonta Coleman. He's saying that Usman for the win. He's got Usman. We've also got Eddie Shasha, who's coming in here. And he's saying that Usman will be too confident in the stand-up after Covington. I think he gets burned this time around. It's a possibility. It's a big possibility that will happen because of the fact that you think you can strike. I mean, the cautionary tale is Ronda Rousey, right? She was outstanding
100%.
grappling, but she knocked out Betch Kahea. She knocked out, what was it, Alexa Davis or whatever, and that made her an elite striker until she met an elite striker, and then she got her teeth knocked out, and then she met another one and got finished in 40 seconds. So, you know, I think that Usman has the clear line to victory by taking this fight to the ground, by controlling it, by looking for a way to gas out a guy who had to lose 20 pounds in 6 days. That's how you win a fight. What kind of cardio does he have?
What do you have to lose? I took a short fight. If I lost, if I had a full camp, I could have done a little bit better.
Yeah.
Usman has everything to lose here, nothing to win. It's all Masvidal. He should. I bet you he's put the stamp on him tonight.
All right. Well, we are going to see. So, as Jorge Masvidal walks to the ring, he looks really, really calm. I like the braid combination that he's got going on right now. Couldn't go with just straight cornrows.
You look like he's in shape. Okay.
So who you got, George?
I tell you, man, I'm going with Masvidal on this.
All right.
That's my verdict pick.
That is your verdict pick. That's what you picked on the show as well. So I was really just testing you to see if you were gonna make a switch on the sly. All right,
so
Coach.
I bet one of my students though that Kamaru will win. So if Kamaru wins, I win a little money from one of my students.
Okay. All right, Coach, what you got?
I think if it's standing up, I think Masvidal will catch him. I think if he doesn't catch him, it's going to be a decision by Usman.
Okay. For me, I've got Kamaru Usman. I think that he will survive a couple of tough positions early on in the striking game, and then he will do what he needs to do, take this fight to the ground, control, gas Jorge Masvidal out, and if he does get a finish, it'll happen probably late in the fight, maybe 5th round, but I think this is going to be a decision and still the welterweight champion of the world.
You know, he knocked out Bez Askren in 5 seconds.
See, that's a fluke for me. That's a. I know that I know that he practiced it. I know that the knee was practiced. Like, before everybody gets mad at me, I know the knee was practiced. I know that was the game plan. But landing it as square as he did, that does not happen very often. That is a rare thing.
He's also fought so many times. He's so experienced in this cage. You know?
Yep.
He's so experienced. Look at him. He's totally relaxed right now. We'll see if it's good or bad when the show's over.
Yeah. Right. But this is the thing. And this is what I was talking to people about. What I talked about on the show before he fought Ben Askren, and then what I brought up again this week on the show, and that is, if you go to Jorge Masvidal's record, go and look at the fighters he's fought. And count the wrestlers. Count the pure wrestlers. Because you're only going to find like 2 names on it. Ben Askren, which that wasn't a wrestling. He didn't have to wrestle. He landed the flying knee. The other one was like Jake Ellenberger, who was a wrestler, but Jake had gotten very comfortable in his striking, and it was late in his career.
Didn't Ben Askren retire after that loss?
He did. But that's because of a health issue. It's a hip. He's got a hip issue that he has to get surgery on, and they don't advise fighting after that. But Jorge Masvidal, as many fights as he has, he doesn't have a lot of pure wrestlers on his record. And so that's what I think is going to make the difference if Kamaru Usman can be disciplined, if he can be focused and use the strength that he has, the advantage that he has in this fight. I think Kamaru Usman can do something that Jorge Masvidal is not ready for. That's just me, though.
Would you say that this is Usman's best challenge to date?
From a striking perspective, yes. Because to your point, Usman could not find a decent fight. So he fought a lot of tomato cans to get to the title fight where he finally got to Tyron Woodley. Remember, Tyron Woodley wanted to fight Colby Covington, and Colby Covington was like, "Oh, my nose, I had to get surgery, whatever." That's the only way that Usman got to get into that. Yeah, that's the only way that Usman was able to get that fight anyway. So you're right. Usman hasn't fought the caliber of fighter that we see across the ring from him in Jorge Masvidal. But Jorge Masvidal hasn't seen the caliber of wrestler in his career that he's looking at in Kamaru Usman. That's why this fight is so exciting, because you've got people sitting across from each other who hasn't seen an animal like them. This is kind of like, the lion ending up somewhere in Siberia and seeing a tiger for the very first time, and they're like, "Yo, I thought I was the biggest cat on the block."
Who's the best submission guy that Usman has fought?
Damian Maia.
Yeah.
He's small for his weight.
No, Damian Maia used to fight at 185. He fought for the title against Anderson Silva.
He just fought him recently, right? So it's the downside of it, not his upside, right? Damian Maia.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm excited.
So let's see here. So Eddie Shasha is like, Usman is hella confident walking in. He is. He's singing, dancing. I hope it works for him, because he walking in there like this. He's walking in like he owned the place.
Well, he's in shape too. I mean, he's in way better shape than Masvidal. I can tell you that just by physically looking at him.
Correct.
Masvidal does not look like he's been turning his ass off up until now.
But see, I don't think it's about legacy for Masvidal either. He made the money. He got the new contract signed as to be able to be here.
What do you get for this one?
They didn't disclose
They
it,
hadn't disclosed yet. Yeah.
but he did get a new contract. So he wanted a new contract. Dana White said no because you just signed one a few months ago. But they gave him a new contract in order for him to be here. And so, therefore, for those of you who are just watching, you can type in your little chat box to communicate with us. We'll put your comment on the screen and talk about it. For those of you who are coming to try to get a feed of the fight on the sly, sorry for you. We're not breaking the law here. So, but if you want to talk about what's going on while it's going on,
YouTube.
Send us some message. Chat with us. We want to talk about this fight as it's happening. This is Combat Sports Talk. All right. I gotta get the timer going.
Buffer factor timer. I was gonna say, Coach probably didn't know about that.
All right, here we go. So here we go. We got the timer going. We might be a little few seconds behind you guys who are watching the fight. We do the timer on the main event because we believe in something called the buffer factor. The buffer factor is a fight should last at least as long as it takes Bruce Buffer to announce it. And so we time it to see how long it takes for him to announce it so we can see what the minimum is for this fight that needs to go. So we're 30 seconds in. Usually it lasts about pretty close to 3 minutes to announce.
That don't pump you up.
Yeah. So how do you like?
It wouldn't be crazy if Masvidal out wrestled Usman.
Oh, well, crazier things have happened, right?
Oh, Vander Holyfield, look at that.
How do you like that jacket?
Leah said she didn't like this one that much. She thought he'd have on something a little bit more flashy. I liked it.
It's more my style that he has something that has a lot of detail, but it's not. It doesn't look like he's wearing it inside out.
Hmm.
So while the announcement's still going on, a comment came in from Elton Jim. He said takedown scoring needs to change to damage being done after the position is improved. So I think we'd agree with that, right? That you don't score a takedown until you get some type of control, passing guard perhaps, and damage being done.
That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it, a takedown deal is still a takedown. It does take effort, it takes skill, it takes something to get somebody down, even if it's for 1 second. So on both sides, yeah.
So yeah, for me though, there are some fighters that just take Demetrius Johnson got beat because Henry Cejudo was taking him down but wasn't doing anything with the takedowns. And so if a fighter gets taken down because he's wrestling an elite wrestler, but the wrestler doesn't do anything with the position, I don't think you should score it as heavily as someone who's tearing you up on the feet.
Well, we already saw tonight. You got to watch out for the judges scoring because we've already seen one robbery of a championship fight.
Well, that robbery, maybe those two takedowns that we saw, maybe that's what they saw, that they couldn't tell the difference in striking. The one had a takedown, and therefore they win the round.
Yep. All right, there you have it, folks. We have 2 minutes and 46 seconds. This fight needs to last at least as long as it took Bruce Buffer to announce it. So hopefully it will. Hopefully we'll get our money's worth and see a good competitive fight.
My palms are getting sweaty right now.
I'm excited. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, literally.
He's such a gangster. Masvidal. He don't get nothing. He don't care. He's good to go. Let's go, dude. We'll fight this fight.
Oi, oi.
Here we go. Oh wow. Already started.
The sniping I told you about.
There you go. Right there. Now.
Nice elbows from the bottom.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we're about to see that can opener, though.
Yeah, I like the can opener.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. I like what D8266 is saying. Quick takedown. Thank you, William Smith, for validating me. That those takedowns should not have counted the way they did.
Talking about on the Aldo fight.
In the Cejudo fight. This is when I was referencing.
Oh, yeah.
DJ is still the champ. I don't acknowledge that triple champ garbage. So, you know,
Nice.
Masvidal's doing a great job right here.
definitely staying
Trying to
active.
get
Like this is
one
how
up, too.
you score points from the bottom.
Dude, I'm telling you, look at this guy. This is going to mess up Usman now. What's Usman doing? Just holding him here.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do.
But you do want to in the first round, if you're a pure wrestler, what you want to do is you want to try to tire out your opponent. Like wrestler is it's a long game, right? You're not trying to get him out
but he
quickly.
got the takedown though. He didn't do anything to that takedown.
Right, he didn't.
To your point.
He actually got beat up in the
He
takedown.
took damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice inside leg kick.
So just as an update, Jonathan, I've got Kamaru Usman. George down in the bottom right hand corner has Jorge Masvidal, and I believe Coach up in the top right hand corner has Usman.
Oh, Masvidal.
Or maybe he has Masvidal. Who do you have, Coach, again?
Oh,
You got Masvidal?
Oh, well, you know, if it goes 5 rounds, it's going to be Usman. If Masvidal get down the first or second round, it'll be Masvidal. Here, we'll know right now. If he gets this takedown. This is a real attempt at a takedown here.
Nothing.
But he got that strike on there.
I think Bo Nichols helped him out a little bit there.
I just don't think he's going to have the gas after having to drop 20 pounds in 6 days.
That's $1 million question right there.
Nice elbow.
Man, they are starting at such a crazy pace. They can't run like this fast this whole fight.
Well, you got to remember, Kamaru has done this before with Kobe as far as this kind of pace. So that's not unheard of for him.
Yeah. Here we go. This is the pace that I want to see for Usman, though. I want to see him grapple. I want to see him, but not turn this into a fireworks type of thing. Because I think, but Masvidal's cut. Masvidal's bleeding.
Nice.
I don't like the way that Masvidal rushes into him.
No.
It's almost chin down and hands down.
I almost think like he wants to push this pace to see what happens. And he gets taken out, because he knows he doesn't have the gas to go long.
So Jonathan, there's a cut on. It looks like there's a small cut on the left eye of Jorge Masvidal. There's a little bit of blood trickling down.
Nice. That's sniper, man.
Yeah, look at that.
You punch that takedown.
Watch the uppercut.
Dude, you better shoot him.
He
Stop
needs to
playing
shoot.
around.
What is he doing?
He's going to rush into an uppercut. Watch.
Or a knee? He's going to get that knee. He's going to catch it.
Nice.
Those are good body shots by Usman.
Usman, yeah, you got Jorge Masvidal coming over the top, though.
Who are you giving that first round to, gentlemen?
Ooh, close one.
Masvidal.
Why?
Yeah, why Masvidal for the first round?
I think Masvidal did more off the take, and then he got taken down. He did more there. And I think he landed better shots all standing up.
All right, for me,
Cleaner shot. Yeah.
we got Eddie. Eddie's coming in. For those of you who are watching, who do you have? Who did you give and why? We got Eddie says 10-9 Usman.
Here you go. Who won that round?
I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10-9 Usman.
Hater.
Who
You
you
know
win that round?
Masvidal won that round.
My wife said Masvidal won that round too.
Exactly.
All right.
Even with the takedown.
Yeah.
Look at the damage in the takedown.
As we talk about the takedown and damage, they went the other direction. Nice knee.
There's a body shot that missed. Oh, look, the clash of heads. That's what's cut him.
So okay, so that shouldn't even count then. But look at these shots. Look at these sniper shots.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Round 2. I think they got their adrenaline dumps out. So now we're gonna actually see a normal fight.
Oh, you want to wrestle? Not tonight.
I say he keeps doing that though. Chase him, make
to.
him use all that energy, trying to fight the takedowns.
Nice. You see that leg block
That's a
to keep that
lot of
takedown?
strength right there. A lot of energy wasted.
Dude, his wrestling hands up. Did you see that leg block to keep that takedown from
I
happening?
did. I saw it.
That's good. Masvidal's doing good in here. You know, I've been teaching my guys that, you know, when you're at this point here and your takedown's not working, go to a clinch, throw some knees, then go back down for the takedown. He's really not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
Look at your foot stomps. What are we, back in UFC 2?
So for Jonathan, Jonathan, right now we're in round 2. Looks like Jorge Masvidal may have won the first round, according to our experts here. Well, I mean, you guys are experts, so I don't mean to say it ironically, but here in the second round, Usman is controlling. They're up against the cage, and we've got a lot of grappling going on. He's controlling the fight right now. Where does Jorge want this fight to be?
Jorge's resting.
Oh, nice elbow.
That does not answer the question.
Nice
Ooh, that
knee.
was a big knee though. Jorge just gave a big knee to Usman.
Jorge needs to keep his head down off the brakes. He had his head straight up, and if Usman was paying attention, he could have threw left or right hook. That was a good body shot. Is Usman tired?
I hope not. Well, what kind of champion gets tired? Ooh, big shot though. That was a big shot.
Nice.
You ain't afraid of your shot, buddy.
One thing Usman keeps doing well is going to the body though with those shots. Whenever he presses against the cage, he's steady throwing that right hook to the body. Those are going to pay off later on.
He could be hitting the thigh with his right hand right now too.
So this is when it's tough right here. It's hard to see, but look, we've got another cut on Masvidal's face.
Masvidal.
This new cut on Masvidal's over the right eyebrow now. So this is what it looked like when Masvidal fought Nate Diaz. Remember?
He's a bleeder.
I know he's a bleeder. He's got a lot of scar tissue, but
Did he just punch him in the nuts?
He did. He's learning how to strike still.
Those body shots are going to pay though.
So
That one hurt him. He cringed big time with that last body shot.
So Sick Geo said I heard Masvidal looking gassed. I don't think that Masvidal's looking gassed right now, but he's taking some body shots for sure.
Nice knee to the face.
There you go.
I don't think that was to the face. I think that hit lands off the shoulder. We got shoulder strikes that you know. I don't think that I thought John Jones kind of brought us the shoulder strikes. Maybe if John Keys was here, he'd tell us that someone else back in UFC 3 invented the shoulder strike. But you know, most people will associate that with Conor McGregor and Cowboy Cerrone.
I was so pumped for that fight too.
Oh,
There you go. There you go. There you go.
trying to turn it into a brawl. That's what he has to do, though. Jorge Masvidal needs to turn this into a slugfest because he can win that.
What he's doing.
He's got the speed. He's got the power, the resilience. That's what you want.
He's getting his runoff too into that cross, man.
All right. You guys are a few seconds ahead of me. All right, who you got for that one? Round number 2 is in the books. You got to give that one to Usman.
That, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Another headbutt by Usman. The second cut's by a headbutt again.
Well, so let's give some opinions on the second round. I think that what Kamaru Usman wants to do is make this fight a close one, make it a grapple one, use the fight against the cage to throw a lot of body shots to try to gas Masvidal out. Masvidal is doing a great job of kind of controlling and keeping Usman from doing too much damage, and then getting back to the middle of the ring to throw strikes. What Coach? What's your assessment of round 2?
I think you're pretty much on point there. I think Masvidal is going to have to start letting loose now and not waiting, because this is the fight I was talking about. They could get real boring real fast if you just laying on the cage and not doing anything. You just hold him there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll win the fight. Masvidal's got to go. Let it go.
All right, George, what do you think?
I definitely agree. Masvidal's got to let it go. But what's happening is he is having a hard time dealing with the holding tactics of Kamaru. So we'll see what happens in this one. I wouldn't be surprised though if I see Kamaru really become a wrestler now.
So yeah, I mean this is the strategy that I thought that Usman should really do. I don't like what he did in the first round, just kind of standing and banging.
Usman's open to a knee when he shoots in like that. When he tries to come in, he's throwing a step in knee.
Well, he needs to shoot whenever Jorge Masvidal leans into that right cross. I love Masvidal's face.
Oh, I'm so tired of these foot stumps, though.
You know, in honor of
skills.
No.
He don't have anything in his toolbox. He needs more in his toolbox. You know?
All right, William Smith has it 19-19, so he's got it 1 round apiece.
So there's 3 rounds so far done.
No, this is round 3. We're in round 3 right now.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Nice check left on the break.
There you go. Usman's hands start slowing down. This could be. Oh. Another headbutt. That's the 4th headbutt I've counted so far.
So, sorry, we cannot show the fight. That's the one thing we can't do, or else we'll get shut down and fined, and I just don't have that kind of cash. So if you're here watching it because you want to see the fight, you got to go somewhere else. We're only talking about the fight here, but if you're watching it or you want us to tell you what's going on, we're happy to do that.
Here we go. Here's where Usman's going to win the round.
So
not really putting a whole lot out.
Yeah.
He punched him in the balls again.
That's twice.
So, man, Fight Island it needs to be renamed to Ball Strike Island. How many ball strikes have we gotten tonight? It's crazy.
I love how the referee is letting them stand this close together and they're talking noise to one another while they're on break.
Are we starting to see some things in Usman where he's headbutting and now he is punching to the balls because out of frustration?
Well, John Jones said he's looking like him in the clinch.
Well, there you go.
All right, here we go.
He's smart, dude. That is a veteran right there.
Use the time.
Hey, heck yes. It's there for a reason. You're on your own time. Yep. Referee's going to try to speed you up as fast as possible, but you have that option.
So
why are you smiling as you say that, ref?
Because we want to go. Let's go.
So
He's smart. He's doing the right thing.
So Joey Lopez wants to know who's winning. Right now, we've either got it 2-0 as I have it, or 1-1. So right now, the consensus here with us on Combat Sports Talk is that the fight is 1-1. Each one has won a round. We're now in round number 3. 2 minutes 30 seconds left in round number 3.
No, there's some coming in. That's what he needs to do. Stuff like this. Make him think about it. I really wish they'd set up their kicks with hands.
Yeah.
Who do you feel like has been more of the aggressor throughout this fight so far?
Well, from ring control, I mean, I would say Usman, right?
Well, that's not aggression necessarily. That's holding someone isn't aggression. Who is the aggressor? Who is pushing the pace on this fight?
See how long. See if you can hold him here now. Oh, that's a ball shot again.
So here we go. We got a takedown now. Yeah, you
I'm
got
really
to pull him away from
surprised.
the cage.
Nice.
There you go. Now you got him away from the cage, and you're in side control now. This is where Usman needs to be.
Oh, shoulder strike. Come on, that's what you got.
Okay, so now you would score this takedown because he got the takedown and he's in side control.
Well, he's definitely laying on him.
Oh, look at that elbow, though.
Because he was just laying on him. He wasn't doing any damage. I don't know how you count that takedown.
This is where you want to be if you're Usman. This is the fight that I wanted to see, that I was expecting.
Regardless of who wins this one, Usman is going to come out a better fighter for having fought Masvidal.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. George, you call this leveling up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. The guard's open with the can opener is no longer effective. There's no pressure at this point. He needs to pass the guard at this point.
So the can opener only works when you're in closed guard, right?
Correct.
And so for those of you out there who are watching, the can opener is when you grab the back of the head and you're pulling up on it as the other person has got you in closed guard, which is their legs wrapped around your body and tied at the ankles, right? So here we go. Who won that round?
I'm giving that round to Kamaru. Yeah.
I don't want to.
I was interested in hearing what the corners were just saying. I thought the referee was talking to George, saying he wanted to talk to him for a minute about something.
Trevor Whitman's the newest up-and-coming coach. We're going to start seeing a lot of fighters coming out of that
Really?
make big splashes.
Really?
So,
All right, so Jonathan says that he's thinking that the judges are going to be unanimous on Usman. We're going to have to keep. I think you're a little early in saying that because we're just in round number 3. It's possible that that Masvidal won the first one and you got 2 more rounds to go. So depending what happens in round 4 and 5, you just don't know. William Smith is channeling his inner Colby Covington, saying it's 30-24 for fake newsman. It's got a 2-1 for Usman. So I think that you're probably right. I think that that's the consensus here on the show. So we'll see what happens. Eddie Shasha is saying that Masvidal needs a KO.
oh yeah, we knew that.
Oh, Usman throwing kicks.
Oh, you just kind of was that an ankle pick?
Here we go again. Now we're going to be here for another 2.5 minutes.
but that's the game
Some
plan,
good
right?
stomps, and I know. That's why I told you it's gonna be a boring fight if that's what it is.
You know,
These fighters can't come out and say I'm gonna stand and bang and then don't stand and bang.
well, hopefully Usman was saying that just to try to play with
Right?
Masvidal's head, because don't nobody want to stand and bang with Masvidal.
Well, if you're trying to prove something,
So
I would like to see a report and ask him. So you said you wanted to stand and bang with Masvidal. How'd that go for you tonight?
right, not too well.
Congratulations
Jonathan says he wants to fight Usman. Unless you're a big man, I would not advise it. So if you're
Usman's a beast.
maybe 6'4", 6'5", and you weigh 380, yeah, go for it.
There you go, Masvidal. Here's your chance. Masvidal needs to start throwing strikes from the break. When he finally gets the break, go for a choke right here. When he gets the break, Usman has a bad tendency of letting his hands go as he's resetting. And Masvidal needs to explode as soon as the break happens.
Yeah.
I've actually been impressed with Masvidal's takedown defense and the way he's dealt with Usman's wrestling, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown something. I think Colby needs to be taking some notes. So for Sosik Gio, he wants to know what words were exchanged. They were just talking about how they were going to knock each other out, and Kamaru Usman was saying that he's going to ragdoll Masvidal. It's not happening. It's just not.
Well, the foot's been ragdolled. He's been doing that foot and stuff all fight, so that's been ragdolled.
Then if we count these shoulder strikes.
Yeah. I mean, technically, standing with him against the cage and throwing punches. So, the fight is not done, Key Arvalo. But right now, Usman is winning 2-1, or I think we can call it 2-1.
This is game bread.
This is active though, right here. This is where he wants to be.
Yeah. See that short elbow? That's what Masvidal has to do.
Yeah, you've got to fight your way out of this corner, Jorge Masvidal, and then get it back to the middle where you own the ring.
I can see Masvidal do a jump knee right here.
Yeah, I feel like Masvidal is feigning that he's tired, hoping he'll rush in.
Well, he's got that knee. He's got that right leg cocked back.
Usman seems like his hands are starting to get a little slower.
That's a nice clip. Check left hook.
Yeah. Didn't hurt him though.
Masvidal wants this. He's a gangster. He's a real gangster. He's OG. Masvidal's tough, dude. Except for his foot. His foot's taking a lot of damage. That's right.
William Smith said Usman should stand and bang with Masvidal in the closing minutes of the 5th after he drains Masvidal some more, just to be able to say he technically kept his promise to go toe-to-toe. I think that he kept his promise to go toe-to-toe by doing the foot stomps. So
look, if I was the referee right now, I would tell you guys to be active or get out of there. I mean, this foot stomping thing is not active to me. It's a stalling technique.
Right.
He's not doing anything in here at all. Break him.
So for Harvey's like, just say what's going on. Okay, what's going on right now is Kamaru Usman has got Jorge Masvidal up against the cage. They're grappling, but there's no movement going on, and so what's happening is a lot of elbows and shoulders and foot stomps from Kamaru Usman. Masvidal's fighting his way off the cage. That's the only way that he's got. But as we get to the end of the 4th round, it's another round where Usman has controlled the fight, kept the fight on the cage, grappling, doing just enough to keep the fight there. So that's what's going on. We're just finished round number 4. Who do you have winning round number 4, Coach?
Usman, of course. I mean, by a foot stomp.
All right, George, who do you have?
Yeah, definitely Usman on that one, man.
Okay, so I think it's
And
good.
it's not necessarily just based on an output of strikes or anything like that, unless you count the foot stumps and shoulder strikes, but just from the overall, control.
Yeah, so I think that the consensus is here that it's a 3-1 fight right now. Usman isn't really doing a lot of damage. He's not dominating the fight in any way, but he's holding the fight against the cage. He's keeping the fight just active enough that the ref doesn't separate them and bring them back to the center of the ring.
Right now, Usman's ready to go back to prelims.
What? You hating on the champ?
This is a boring. Hey, I'd rather see Masvidal fight than Usman fight again. Just judging off of this fight alone.
Right. Okay. So we are starting round number 5. We're back in the center of the ring. Yeah. So we're just looking at each other right now.
Masvidal has to go. He has to go.
He's got to know he's losing this fight.
I think he just signed to show up to this fight. To be honest with you,
it's fair to say that he did. So
what did Nick Diaz say years ago? Selling some wolf tickets.
Wolf tickets. That's right. That's right. Just howling. So right now we're just looking at each other. Nothing's going on. They're throwing jabs here and there, a leg kick here and there, but nothing. There's no action right now. We're just looking. Time's ticking away. We're at 4:14 left in the fight.
Well, Usman is walking him to the fence slowly. If you look,
yeah.
Now they're at the fence. You know what I mean? So
right.
Usman is going forward to do exactly this.
Nice takedown.
All right, and now Usman just scored a takedown. Usman is now in a takedown. It's basically an open guard against the fence. He's trying to posture up right now. Looks like he's going to try to get some ground and pound going, and that's what he's doing right now. So it's 3:44 left in the fight. You've got Usman in an open guard on next to the cage, doing some ground and pound. Not very effective though.
I see a lot of grounding.
Not a lot of pounding. Not a lot of pounding. It's not very effective ground and pound.
This is a traditional wrestler thing that happens is that when they get here, they pin you.
Yeah.
And so mentally, they've been there so many times, they're winning. They forget that they're in a MMA fight.
Right.
You know.
So Usman is trying to posture up. He's throwing a couple of elbows up against the cage. Looks like we're trying to get to butterfly.
You know what I would tell Usman if I had a chance to give him one word of advice?
Yeah.
Let's see Mark Coleman.
Mark Coleman?
He'll fix his ground and pound deal. Because he should be, look at how he has him stacked. He should be crushing him right now.
Instead of hitting him in the thigh. Like, what kind of punch to the thigh? What is that doing?
He's trying to get to the foot. Still.
So this should be stood up right now. Oh, so for Harvey, we don't know how much the Masvidal is being paid for this fight. I would assume that it's pretty high. All right, so looks like would you call this north south or this still side control?
No, side.
Okay, and so now Kamaru Usman is in side control. And he's just laying there. He's not doing any damage. No damage is going. Just threw an elbow there, but so
he can go to a crucifix here by trapping the arm and putting the elbow.
Uh-oh, he's just got mount. He went after mount. Nice. So I'm serious, man. Jorge's wrestling has gotten better from what I've seen, though.
Yeah.
He's dealing with an elite level wrestler right now.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of submissions here he could do.
Yeah.
If he knew him. And he's just holding him. He's just holding, Dars.
Yeah, you get a Dars choke is what I was thinking. Is you could get a Dars hook.
Guillotine. There's a lot, and this just shows the level of Usman's arsenal right now, and that he's been winning these fights on pure athleticism. Now he's being, I don't want to say exposed because he's still winning.
Yeah.
You know, but he's learning now that where he needs to work on.
Right.
So he's held him here for 15 seconds and it has not improved. But just held him.
And I'm trying to see his other arm because can he? You better watch those knees. He's trying to throw knees. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
the-
just.
Yeah, I think the Darce choke is there, huh?
It was.
And Jorge's back to his feet.
Jorge's back to the feet, but they're still grappling against the cage. We've got 41 seconds left in this fight. Unless we get a flash knockout in the next 30 seconds, Usman's going to walk away with the championship. All right, we're back in the middle of the ring. And Jorge is going for broke here.
Oh, now Usman can say he's standing banging with them for 10 seconds.
Well, that's what someone was saying. 10 seconds left. They're standing, looking at each other in the middle of the ring. Are they going to bang or not? Looks like they are not going to bang. They're just throwing onesie-twosies right here. That's it. The fight is over. The fight is over.
Like to see them shake hands.
They shook hands in the middle of the ring.
There's never no real animosity, really, other than if you get the Diaz brothers, because once you tell them you don't like them, then that's it.
Okay, I think that you've got it. 49-46 is probably the call. That's 4-1. We're cleaning up the fighters. We're going to have the results in just a moment, and then what we'll do is we'll do a quick recap of all the fights tonight, and then we'll let you guys go. You're welcome, Harvey. Check us out, Combat Sports Talk. Check out our website, www.combatsportstalk.com. We would love for you to like and subscribe our page. Follow us on any of your favorite podcast platforms.
So this is a fight that we were excited because we saw Masvidal's name attached to it.
Yeah.
But really, I'm blaming this fight not on Usman. It's not his fault. I think the matchmaker should be blamed for putting the styles make fights. And this was a bad stylistic matchup. Put him against a guy who's a wrestler and see how that goes. Versus, because all he's doing this whole entire fight really is closing the distance and holding him on the fence and some foot stomps.
Yeah.
And that's what he did with most of his fights. So, what Masvidal just showed you is that he can stuff 90% of them, but 10% he can't. Right. 10% was why he lost the fight.
On 6 days.
Opportunity is gone. Huh?
I said on 6 days too.
I think they should run this back. Like, why not run this back and let Masvidal get a full fight camp? Yes, it was 4-1, but he had 6 days of preparation. Let him get a full camp and get a couple wins. No, well, unless he's going to fight Colby or somebody like that. So, Peter, they're getting ready to make the official announcement, but we believe that Usman will emerge victor in this fight. So, here we go.
I think Masvidal is also a winner in this fight, to be honest.
So what? Wow.
50-45, wow.
Oh. So there you have it, 50-45, 50-45, and 49-46 in favor of Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman.
But, look, the audience is telling you everything. Nobody's clapping.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think everybody wanted to see Jorge Masvidal walk out with the with the gold here. The question that I have is, where's the BMF belt? I think Usman should have the BMF belt too, right?
No, dude.
I'm joking. I'm not serious. I'm definitely not serious.
I think Usman's gonna be tough in years to come. He's only gonna get better. And this was a great match for him as far as getting his skill level up and beating another name. Because now he's beaten two guys really that I think are have top names and Tyrone Woodley and now Masvidal. So to be a champion with the limited skill set that he has shows how good of an athlete he is. And how strong he is internally,
Yeah. I agree with you there. I can't wait to see what Jorge Masvidal has next. So And Coach, you're not the only one who believes this was not a great fight. Peter Gomillion says it's the most boring fight he's ever seen. Brian Schroeder said that the fight sucked. Usman hugged and stepped on his feet.
Well, I guess
We're
you
looking
never
at
saw
the
Gracie
strike
and
stats
Shamrock.
though. Total
Huh?
strikes thrown 263 by Kamaru. Total thrown by Jorge 88.
Where's the foot stomp one? Because
What do
the
you
foot
do?
stomp was probably at least 200.
But what do you do? How do you win a fight whenever you can't put the output on because you're too busy clinching on the side of the cage?
Well, that's what I try to teach the guys we have is that, look, if the takedown's not there, then move on to the next thing. You
Mhm.
have him on the fence. You can do a side clinch.
Right.
There's lots of things you can do. Elbows, knees to the body, and then go right back down to it. Get them to straighten up a little bit.
Right. And I think that that's fair too. I think it's fair to say that Usman was preparing for Gilbert Burns, who's a very different fighter than Jorge Masvidal. And so you do have to train differently for different fighters. We do know that styles make fights, and the type of fighter that Gilbert Burns is, which is a striker and a submission specialist, is very different than someone who's got the size and strength of Jorge Masvidal. I think that's a fair argument.
I'd also say it looked like to me that Masvidal looked small in comparison to Usman in this fight, physically.
Yeah, but I think that's a function of the 6-day 20-pound weight cut, right?
No, Usman walks around at 200.
Really?
Cuts down to like 170. Masvidal probably walks around at like 180.
I was thinking.
So
I mean, he said he had to cut 20 to get to 170, but
they lie about that. They lie
He
about
pizza the
that.
night before, right? I saw that pizza picture.
So let's go through and recap all the fights. I know that they're talking to Kamaru Usman right now, but I'm not really interested in what he has to say.
wow. I'm telling your Nigerian friend on you.
No, I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it that way. For real.
Kamaru's from Dallas. You know that, right? He can run up on you anytime.
I do not want him to run up on me anytime, only because my toes, I actually have sensitive feet. Okay, so I don't want my feet stomped by Kamaru Usman up against the wall somewhere. So let's talk a little bit about the fights tonight, though. The first fight of the night on the main card was Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zandt. This was basically a steamrolling right here. Like, did anybody legitimately give Paige Van Zandt a chance? Actually,
I think she just got caught. I wouldn't say I gave her a chance, but I think she just got caught early.
George gave Paige Van Zandt a chance.
Yes, I did.
Of course he did.
Man, I had Amanda Ribas from jump. She's just such a great. I mean, she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. She's a bit of a spitfire when she gets in the ring. And Paige Van Zandt hasn't fought in forever. I mean, the work that she's been doing, that she'd done at Team Alpha Male, she was on her way up, and then she met some really strong people, and then went dancing with the stars. I'm actually kind of glad that she's on her last fight of her contract. Go be beautiful somewhere. Don't be a fighter. It's not your thing.
These fighters that are coming up from some of these countries like Brazil, and they have nothing. Everything is this. And so they're so hungry coming in. And you look across the cage and you have a girl who doesn't really need it, kind of wants it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of showed tonight.
All right. So the next fight of the night was Jessica Andrade versus Rose Thug Namajunas. This was a great fight. This was a rematch of a fight just a few years ago where Jessica Andrade dropped Rose Namajunas on her head, knocking her out and taking her belt. So this was kind of a payback revenge fight, and I felt like Rose Namajunas got it done, even though the third round she paid for it. Big old swollen thing under her eye, perhaps a broken nose. She did a great job.
I thought absolutely phenomenal job. I think that's what would have happened in the first fight if Rose hadn't been dropped. I think she was piecing her up the first time, so This was just inevitable.
All right, what do you think, Coach?
Let me ask you guys a question. So you think that a third match is needed, or is this it?
For Rose and for Jessica? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Because Rose was winning the first one pretty handily, and she wasn't even in it. I mean, she was talking about like I was emotionally not even there. I was just doing it because that's what you do when you get into the ring. Shout out to you, Jonathan. We'll see you next time. Please do subscribe. And for all of you watching, please subscribe to Combat Sports Talk. This is what we do every week. I felt like Rose is a better fighter and was dominant the whole time. So, you know, why would we run it back? I felt like the first one perhaps was a fluke. I think Rose should fight Zhang Weili. That's what we should see next. This is a title shot. I think that's going to be the fight that wasn't with Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Zhang Weili. I think Rose is going to get done what JJ couldn't get done. And that's my preliminary pick. That's my preliminary pick. Peter Yan.
I would just say that Rose needs to really work on her defense, because as much as she had her hands up the whole fight, she left the middle so open so much of the fight. That's where she was getting hit a lot, and she didn't make any corrections. So hopefully they watch their tape and go back and tighten up their defense a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Top shelf was saying that Andrade keeps beating all the other girls. Yeah, she does. I mean, you know what that's called? Whenever you beat everybody but the champ, that's called a gatekeeper, and that's what Andrade has basically become. She's a gatekeeper. If you really want a title shot, you're going to have to beat the pile driver. Speaking of pile driver, Peter Yan defeated Jose Aldo to become the 135-pound bantamweight champion of the world. This was a fight that was competitive at first, but then got out of hand real quick, and it should have been stopped way earlier than what it was.
Yeah, that fight was stopped way too late. Jose wasn't intelligently defending himself, covered up, and I really was worried about who the referee was on that, because I didn't recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder whether or not that was just an amateur ref trying to let guys go a little bit longer than he probably should have, or because I didn't see the reason behind it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. He definitely showed his age, and as he started to fade as the fight went on, the referees got to do a better job. They got to do a better job protecting those fighters from themselves, especially with the CTE stuff going around and the stuff what Mike Perry got caught doing recently. There's some stuff going on. We need to stop these extra shots. He was obviously, the first time he told him to do something, and if he didn't do something right then and there, he should have stopped it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we had, in the co-main event, we had Alexander Volkanovski winning by decision over Max Holloway. Now, we personally here at Combat Sports Talk believe that was highway robbery of the first degree.
Yeah,
50-45? Really?
Yeah, that was stolen. It was
Max
highway robbery.
ran away with the first 3 rounds.
Yes. Yes. How do you give somebody a fight that they were beat up for the first 3 rounds, they won the 4th, and then got beat up in the 5th, but somehow he won all 5 rounds? I don't know what they were looking at, because that's not how I was scoring it.
It's too bad. It's too bad we don't have a better system.
Yeah. Yeah. Then in the main event of the evening, we just saw it. It was Kamaru Usman winning. Basically, the judges scored it 5-0, 5-0, 4-1. So I don't know what they were watching in round number 1, but I mean, it was a close fight, close round. I gave it to Usman just to mess with you guys, but it was it could have been a more exciting fight, but at least I understand why you didn't want to stand and bang with Street Jesus. You were gonna get you were gonna get blessed. He was
catching some of those hands.
He was.
I think I called it in the beginning when I told you guys in the beginning the Masvidal in the first or second round. If not, it was going to be this boring fight.
Yeah.
Against the cage, and
So I want to before we finish, William Smith had a very interesting question. Because what do you think about Volkan versus Jiri? By the way, this was the main event of the prelims, the feature fight. So this was
scary.
Jiri. I can't say his last name. I haven't practiced it. But he's from the Czech Republic, and he's brand new to the UFC. It was his debut. They tried to give him a contract earlier, but he's like, no, I don't want it. I want to work on my game and then come to the UFC. Volkan Ozdemir, a guy that was fighting for the title just a few years ago,
Ranked number 7 currently. Like, he just beat a number 7 guy right out the gate.
rolled him up, no less, just knocked him out to sleep. So, yeah, we'll wrap up very quick. The thing is that I was so concerned how unorthodox Jerry was, the way he was playing in the ring and the way that things were going on. I felt like he was going to get rocked because he took a lot of big punches in the first round, came back strong in the second, but I thought Volkan Ozdemir was gonna beat him in the first round.
Fellas, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Cool.
I was impressed with what he said about why he waited. He wanted to wait to get his skills up, and then he was going to come back. He didn't want to be a guy just to fight in the UFC. He wanted to make a splash.
Right. So yeah. So I mean that's kind of the thing that I was seeing as well, is that, like, they were saying how methodical and how smart he was about all the things that he was doing. So yeah, I just think that it's a very, very interesting way that he approached the game. I like it whenever the fighters are cerebral. They're not just meatheads that come in and just fight. They actually think their way through the fight, and it's an intelligent man's game.
So what's next for him?
Well, when your debut is against the number 7 guy,
Number 6, here we come.
yeah, I mean, you keep fighting up. I believe in the you keep fighting up until somebody beats you. Then you got to defend your spot. So this was a great, interesting way to welcome Jiri to the UFC. What do you think,
And
George?
who gets to fight a number 7 ranked guy for their debut? Like, so obviously this guy was on the radar.
You know, the one thing about UFC is where their rankings aren't like boxing rankings, where you have to fight the number 6 guy. There's a very good, strong chance now that he could actually be fighting for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In this next fight. How crazy would that be?
But this is at light heavyweight. That would be John Jones. So I think that you start looking at him versus, Dominic Reyes, Thiago Santos coming back. Give him one of those guys. Let's see what he can do against the hammer, the sledgehammer, Thiago Santos.
We need more time for John Jones to figure out what the hell's going on with him.
Yeah, we got to figure out what that. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's say, all in all, what was your opinion overall with the card? Was it a great card? Was it a good card? Did we set it out right on Yas Island? Coach, I'll give you the first word.
I would say it was in between good and great. I think we have some really good undercards, and I think the only one that was disappointing really was a final. I think the final was.
Okay, George, what do you think?
I think great card tonight, man. I was really excited for all these fights. I wasn't disappointed, but yes, I think the last fight could have been a much different fight. Should have been a much different fight, but it is what it is. Sometimes you get that in a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, though, I felt like with all the pomp and circumstance that we had coming into Fight Island, we had been talking about Fight Island for several months. When we finally get a card on Fight Island, we get to see it. I felt like this was this did what they needed it to do. They needed it to be an exciting card with some wonderful performances from fighters from all over the world. That was why they had to do that here in Abu Dhabi as opposed to in Vegas or wherever. So yes, the Usman fight was boring. It was the chance that we had to take. But I feel like all in all, we got a great card out of it. We got to meet a brand new fighter, and we got to see people who disrupted their division. Someone like Rose Namajunas, she's now getting ready to be a title contender. You're looking at someone like Volkanovski. Where's he going to go? Because he stole that belt tonight. And then you got someone like Hebus, right, who she can fight at 115 or she can fight at 125. there's a lot of interesting stories coming out of this. So, I really enjoyed this card, and I hope everyone out there enjoyed it too. All right, want to sign off, guys?
Coach.
Thank you all. Thank you guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, George. Any last words? No,
man. Good talking with you guys tonight. Looking forward to the next one.
All right.
If you're looking for me on social media, catch me at darkside_MMA_.
All right. And I'm at Combat Sports Talk on Instagram. But if you look up at the top, you can see all of the places where you can find our podcast. That's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many of you are already looking at us on Periscope. So we are everywhere you want to be. I like to say that. But you can also go to our website at www.combatsportstalk.com. My name is Ryan Smith, and I want to remind you to keep your hands up, your chin tucked, and throw bombs. We'll catch you next time.